inclination with the fitra. It's their parents that either make them a Christian, a Jew, or a fire worshipper. So what that means is you have natural inclination to understand there cannot be multiple gods. There's only one God, and God cannot become a baby. And how can that same God pray to the Father? How can God pray to another God?
Because you're asking me questions I've got no concept of the answer.
But it's a very simple question.
It would be like asking my Rottweiler to solve a quadratic equation.
Okay, wait 1 second.
She's not up to it.
So is this an equation for us to believe in God? Do we need to go to a mathematical equation for us to believe in God? Or is it natural?
No, the way I feel it, people ask me about Christianity, and I say to them, it's just what I sense is
No, not Christianity. We're speaking about God right now. We're speaking about God. Like, you believe in one God, right? Okay, forget one God. Do you believe in God?
I believe in how can I put it? I believe in a supreme being.
Okay.
What I'm going to call him.
Did you have to do an equation for you to believe in a supreme being?
Because as I said to you earlier on, it's not a thing I can pick up and say, look, this proves it. I can't. It's just what I feel.
Yeah, but the thing is, for example, as human beings, apart from feelings and emotions to the side, we have rationale, and God has given us this reasoning to understand the realities of the world. Wait, let me give an example. Wait 1 second. If we believe that God exists, we believe by definition God is the most just and God is the most wise. Okay, and if God exists, then from His wisdom, from His knowledge, He has to send people amongst us to convey the message. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair. Like, if God exists and He has not given us messengers to believe in the revelation, it wouldn't be fair. Wait, let me finish. Let me tell you why. Let me finish. So you know, in prophets, the way they distinguish themselves from other people is by prophecies, by miracles, by being truthful individuals, such as Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon him, Moses. They're all rightful messengers, and by definition we would have to accept their message. So the Quran came, okay, and which was given to the Prophet Muhammad. The Injil, which you guys believe is the Bible, which is not because it's corrupted, but the Injil was revealed to Jesus, and the people, to get the salvation, had to follow the prophets according to their time. So you know, Jesus, even he stated in the Bible, the Father is one. Worship my Lord and your Lord. The only true God is the Father. The Father is greater than I. This is your revelations.
You're like picking words out.
It's not picking words out. The thing is, to be fair, right now, you're not even a consistent Christian. You believe in evolution. You're not even sure about your religion, which is understandable. If I was a Christian, I'd probably be like yourself. I can't come to the concept that God, the Almighty, the All-Powerful, became a baby, and same Christians worship that baby. It doesn't make sense, right?
It doesn't make sense. There's a lot of things out there in the universe.
But Islam makes sense, though.
It's like quantum mechanics.
No, Islam is not like quantum mechanics. Islam is a religion that could be understood by even the layman and even the most knowledgeable. Why? Because it aligns with your natural inclination. Believing in Allah, one Allah, He has no partners, He has no sons, He has no father, He's uncreated, He's been there for all the time. We believe in that God, and we single out our worship to one Allah.
But sorry, my feeling is, if you don't believe in evolution, so, I'm sorry to say, but I think you're living a lie.
Wait 1 second. So if I don't believe that a fish became a human being, that means my life is a lie.
Well, I'm not saying you have to believe it, but it's just that so many scientists now say that we are a product of evolution.
So do you believe in...
I turn around and say, okay, I would love it if somebody tomorrow came up and had irrefutable evidence that we come from creation.
Okay.
I would love it, because I tell you why.
One moment. I understand. Look,
because it will put all those doubts out of my mind.
Okay, wait 1 second. Firstly, do you believe scientists in regards to their information? Would you believe a scientist without any evidence? Do you actually research what the scientist people have made a claim about? You said to me that your sister, or your daughter, your sister is a biology graduate, and you said you take information from them. For example, there's many philosophers that study philosophy, and they believe that God does not exist. Are we going to take the word for it? No. So what we're going to say is, look, one at a time. What we're going to say is, look at that. Look, that's fine. What we're going to look at is the evidences. When it comes to evolution, even the scientists cannot prove how a fish became a human being, and there's no evidence. Wait 1 second. Let me finish. Let me give you an example. Even if it's a fish, even if it's an organism, whatever you want to call it, there's no no evidences for us to come into existence from that creation. There's no logical sense. As human beings, we have to understand that even though we believe that we are an amazing creation, God has given us a lot of knowledge, power, ability, there must have been a creator behind it. Evolution is not the answer of your purpose. What is let me think about this, yeah? What is your purpose of your existence? What do you believe is your reasons of existing in this world right now?
I can't answer that one. I'm turning around.
So you're confused.
I'm saying to you that certain things I accept haven't got the answer to.
But I believe I have the answer. I believe I have the answer, which I can show to you.
I can only go by what people have told me and what makes the most sense.
Thing is, exactly like what you said, what people have told you. So right now, I'm talking to you, and everything that I'm giving to you makes logical sense. For example, believing in one God, singling out our worship to that one God, and that one God has given us messengers for us to follow, whether that be Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, peace be upon him, and we take one at a time. We take their information as revelation. Okay? Wait, 1 second. The revelation. You know when Allah speaks to the prophets.
Well,
we listen to them. So what I'm saying to you is,
why haven't we all been made messengers?
Okay, 1 second.
And then it will be no doubt.
Let me tell you why we can't all be messengers. Because, for example, if every single person claims to be a messenger, how are we going to differentiate between the liar and the person that's speaking the truth?
No.
We're all messengers. When you say messengers, what do you mean, firstly?
We'll all tell the truth.
No, not everyone doesn't tell the truth. No. How does everyone tell the truth? There's many people that worship the devil. Are they telling the truth?
No, they're not. But God would have made us all messengers.
No, that doesn't make sense. God made us messengers. God has made us human beings, and amongst us, He chose messengers to convey the message, and He differentiated them. For example, the prophecies. Now, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, 1400 years ago. Can I finish the statement, please? And I'll let you respond. No problem. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, 1400 years ago, he mentioned a prophecy that there will be a time where the Arabs, the Bedouin Arabs, will be competing against each other to build the highest buildings. And right now, if I were to ask you a question, where's the tallest building? Where is it?
It's in Khalifa.
Yeah, and do you know which country is competing against them? Saudi Arabia. So 1400 years ago, when there was no technology, no information at all, that prophet predicted this. So we can see many prophecies as well. That's just one. The prophet also said there'll be a time where women will be dressed, but they will be naked at the same time. You know what that means? So, like, for example, nowadays women will still be dressed, but their body will be showing and be tight clothing, for example. So it's exactly the same thing as someone being naked. So the Prophet 1400 years ago predicted these things, and Islam is a logical religion. So don't you agree that believing in one God makes logical sense? Okay, believing in the messengers makes logical sense, and then believing in the revelation that God has given to them makes sense. Do you agree?
No, because I think.
Why not?
Because I think we could have all been God's messengers.
If we are all God messengers, some people would be liars as well. Everyone has a free will.
Not to be God's messengers. I mean, you could say that God's messengers have free will. You could say God's messengers have free will.
The thing is, look, you need to understand, if every single person was a messenger, how would we get to the truth? For example, you look.
We'd have it.
No, 1 second. We're all human beings. We all have free will, and life is a test for us. I don't know what type of fantasy you're living in that we all can be messengers. No. Unfortunately, the thing is, look, we're digressing. We're digressing.
Because I'm asking you.
We're digressing, brother. My friend, we're digressing. Yeah. What we should be speaking about is the foundations. Look, we're all gonna die one day. Yeah. In Islam, yeah, everyone's gonna die one day. We're all gonna be stood before God. And He's going to question us. He's going to ask us, did you follow Him according to His revelations, or did you follow Him according to your desires? We can't follow God through our desires.
No, you're playing with words here.
How?
I don't believe, the way I might disagree with what's in the Bible, it's not a question of what I desire.
Yep.
It's a question of what I believe in and what makes sense.
You know what? Can I say? Can I clarify? The reason why I said desire is because you stated, I believe, because so many people have told me, I believe in scientists just because they've told me information. How can you verify that information? Why don't you use the same excuse for science? Why do you have the same doubts for religion? When I tell you about a messenger that was truthful, because the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was Sadiq al-Amin. Just let me finish, please. The Prophet Muhammad was an individual known to be truthful. He came with the revelations. It makes logical sense. He said the same message that Jesus, Moses, Noah was saying, peace be upon all of them, which is to worship one God, to single out your worship to one God, to not do idol worship, and to follow the messenger. So what's different about that?
I'm going to turn this question around.
Go for it.
What happens if tomorrow somebody comes up and they show show to you all the evidence, and it's quite irrefutable, no doubt about it, that the evolutionists have got it right.
Does the evolution explain to me my purpose of my existence? Let's say, for the sake of argument, yeah, evolution, there's a scientific information about it, even though there will never be. Does that explain to me the purpose of my existence? Does that explain to me why I came into this world?
See, this is what the Anglican Church does.
What do you mean?
This is what the Anglican Church says.
Wait.
That the book of Genesis is the purpose of the creation, not the mechanics of it.
Wait, 1 second. Forget the mechanics, forget the purpose. You're confused right now. You don't even know what religion you're believing in. You say you're a Christian, but at the same time you say pick and choose. You say you're a Christian, but you blindly follow. For example, if you want to talk about evolution, what is the evidences that we was once organisms and we became fishes, then we became animals? What's your proof of that?
Well,
Show me the evidence.
Okay, what I'm going to say to you, if people came up tomorrow...
You're not answering the question.
No, I will do.
You answer my question, then I don't mind you speaking, but you have to answer the question.
I will answer your question.
Go on.
But I'm going to turn it.
You're giving me a scenario. You're not answering the question. You're saying the what if.
You're asking me to produce proof. I'm asking you to produce proof.
That's illogical.
I'm saying to you.
That's illogical.
If
I'm asking you for some proof, you can't ask me a question behind that.
No,
what is your evidences for evolution?
I've asked you a question on the proof, and you've ducked out of it. And what I said to you was, I know how I would feel if somebody could show to me tomorrow clear evidence that the creationists have got it right. I would say, yeah, I believe in creation. Yet when I put the same question back to you, what would you do if people were to show you clear evidence that the evolutionists have it right? What would you believe?
The thing is, yeah, unfortunately, you're not
backing out.
No, let me tell you. Unfortunately, you're not using your reason.
No.
Unfortunately, what you're saying, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what I'm saying. No. You have to let me finish. You have to let me finish. So what I'm saying to you is that you're giving a what-if scenario to say to me that what if the scientists come to the conclusion that evolution does exist. Firstly, again, we're using what-ifs. Secondly, when I asked you the question to provide evidences for evolution, you could not provide any. You said your sister is a biologist, which does not answer the question. So what we're saying to you... Wait. Let me finish, please.
It's like, for example...
I'll let you speak. You have to let me speak as well.
I don't know how the telephone works. A telephone engineer might explain it to me. But above all, that doesn't stop me using the telephone.
Okay, you finished now, yeah? Can I speak now, yeah? So what I'm saying to you is that as Muslims, what we do is we establish objective proof to understand why we are Muslims. Why? Because we believe if one God exists, yeah, then he must create his creation with a purpose, okay? With an understanding of what they're doing, with a guide as well. Because it wouldn't be fair, if God is just, it wouldn't be fair to leave his creation without any purpose, without any guidance. So what we say is that we believe in one God. Yeah. We don't worship any other entity beside God, because he's that one entity, okay? And we believe that God is infinite, okay? And he always existed. We believe that God has given revelation. He has given the Quran, which is the final revelation of God. So we believe in his information. Your evidences of believing in scientists, it doesn't logically make sense with you as well. You know, logically speaking, it does not make sense. Exactly. Thank you very much. We're agreeing. We're agreeing.
It makes sense to believe in what scientists
tell
us.
Just because...
It's like when scientists told me to go and get a COVID jab.
Okay, well...
I go and get a COVID jab.
Okay. So if scientists tell me that I'm inferior and I should shoot out my arm, should I believe in the scientists? If they tell me to cut my arm?
Well, scientists haven't told you that.
So do you blindly follow scientists then?
No. I follow what makes sense.
No, you blindly follow science because you said we follow them, you follow what they tell you to follow. Just because they're scientists. Why would you follow a scientist in the matters of the unknown? The scientists cannot explain to you why God exists. Scientists have their own. Do you know what? Wait. Do you know the scientific experiment? Wait.
You had your COVID jab.
No.
Why not?
I don't need to get a COVID jab. Why do I need to get a COVID jab?
Stop me dying of COVID.
No, is that even evidence? Where's the evidence for that? The scientists at one point, they were saying, wait.
Because they go in, you asked me a question.
No.
You've asked me a question, where's the evidence?
Go on, speak about COVID.
They went into a hospital ward.
Okay.
Where people were dying of COVID.
Okay.
And the doctor there said for 30 patients in this ward, 29 of them haven't been vaccinated.
And the one person got killed because he's not vaccinated, yeah?
Didn't say he got killed.
Okay, wait 1 second.
He was in there.
Let me tell you something, yeah. When it comes to even the COVID jab, yeah, even the scientific experiments, at one point they were saying that if you have the vaccine, then the COVID will not spread. but that was proven to be a lie. COVID still was spreading even if you're vaccinated. So we can see the scientists, whatever, scientists, wait, one at a time. Scientists, when they have like an experiment, many of the times they have their own agenda as well. For example, the scientist's agenda to not accept God, to follow your desires. For example, let me tell you why. In the Quran it says, do not take your desires as your Lord. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're following scientists, even though you have no evidences, like you've never assessed the evidences of the scientists. You're saying you're going to follow them just because you want to.
I've just told you about
What's the evidence?
I just told you about that COVID.
That's a COVID. I'm talking about the existence of God. Can the scientific experiment, can you explain what the scientific experiment is, please? Because you know a lot about science and you believe in it. I'm sure you know the scientific experiment, right?
I know the science.
Then how can you believe in science if you don't even know your own foundations of science? You're blindly following it, my friend.
It's just like I go to the doctor.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Excuse me, he asked you one simple question.
Simple, can you answer?
What proof you got of evolution? Can't you answer that question without tip dancing, going to scientists? Answer the question.
What evidence do I have of creation?
You haven't got evidence, have you? Yes or no?
Evidence of creation.
Have you got evidence of evolution? Yes or no?
It's only by what people
Yes
have
or no?
studied it have told me.
Forget other people.
You have to answer the question.
No, I need to because just
He's not answering the question, my
So you're
friend.
not answering the question, you're tap dancing, you're going on to scientists, you're going on to this and that. You don't know.
do you know how a telephone works?
Can you?
you still use it.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is how you answer.
Yeah.
I will answer if you answer. If you don't answer, or at least say I don't know, I haven't got no evidence, so there's no point in
I
discussing
said
more.
that I don't have conclusive evidence.
So he's got no evidence
Yeah.
of evolution, yet he believes in evolution.
Because of
Blind
what
faith.
people have told
This
me.
man's got his evidence.
Blind faith.
He's got his evidence for his faith.
Yeah.
He's got his evidence of being a Muslim.
He's got it in one book.
Yeah, have you read it?
Yes, I have.
You've read it
I've
from.
read the Bible.
Have you read the Quran?
No, I've read bits.
So you can't comment on the Quran. This man's
Yeah.
read it, he's practiced it, he lives it,
There we
he's
go.
got his evidence, that's why he believes that.
Yeah.
You talking a load of crap about evolution and then you tell us
It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, right. That's
Alright,
fine.
is
Like,
that fair?
look, what he said, yeah, even though he said it quite harshly, I totally agree with him. Why? Because
He hasn't said, well,
The
he might have
respect-
said it
no,
harshly.
no.
He hasn't said it in any way that
no,
makes
the thing is,
any
yeah,
sense.
look, you're old man.
He hasn't
Well,
said
one time. You know, you're older than me, so you know, as a Muslim, we respect our elders. That's the reason why I gave you a lot of opportunities to clarify yourself. What I realized from this conversation is, because we're going to conclude, is that you're very stubborn. You believe in scientists without any evidences. You believe in a concept without any evidences. And even your own religion, you pick and choose. You know, believing in one God makes the most logical sense. And I'm going to conclude. I'm going to conclude. No, I'm going to conclude. I'm going to say to you 1 second.
Yes, you're going to conclude.
I'm going to conclude. Can I let you speak?
Conclude like the same way as you say about the Quran. This is it.
No.
This is the answer.
I'm telling you, I'm going to conclude.
I'm going to conclude because I'm going to walk away from you.
That's fine,
How
no problem.
about that?
That's fine, no problem,
That's
mate.
good.
Hopefully, may Allah guide all of us.
And that's it.
May Allah guide all of us. You know, he's quite stubborn
And that's
uncle,
it.
to be honest. I try to be very
You have to
gentle
stick
with
to
him.
your point.
100%.
If he don't answer, then say, well, forget it.
100%.
He's got to have the respect. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he's wrong or
Yeah.
right. At least I don't know. That's it.
I gave him a lot of opportunities to clarify
Oh, you
himself, and he's an old man, so I was very gentle with him. Otherwise, if he was a younger person, I know he's playing circles, but you know, old people sometimes it's very hard to change their opinion. One
Forget age.
personal experience of mine.
Forget age.
Now, to be honest, from my subjective experiences, elder people, they're very stuck in their ways, and it's hard to convince them. But doesn't mean that they cannot be convinced. Allah, He's the one that opens it for everyone. I'm gonna just take the mics off here.